Hi there, this is Sheena Rowlands and today I'm sharing with you my latest layout for Simple Stories Saturday's YouTube hop. And for this layout I'm going to be using the Simple Stories range Full Bloom. Now I've made quite a few layouts from this range already, but I'm convinced it's multiplying in the dark when I'm not looking, and I have lots and lots of embellishments left. So I've decided to do a layout where I can try and use quite a few embellishments up in one go. So I've got a 12 by 12 piece of pattern paper there as the background, and I've got white cardstock over the top, and I've cut that to 11 inches square. So the idea is I'm going to find journaling cards and tags and other bits and pieces to literally cover this cardstock, and then I'm aiming to embellish everything with some of the embellishments, and you'll see later I've got a tray absolutely full of bits and pieces. This was definitely one of my favourite ranges from last year. I just think that the colourways is really good. It's very good for like summer outdoors. In fact, most things. The patterns are really nice, lots of flowers, lots of creepy crawlies as well. But generally, yeah, just really easy to work with, and I think that's why I keep coming back to it. I want to get it used up, obviously, that's the idea of making the layouts, but I do enjoy creating with this. So I've now brought in a tray of a lot of the embellishments that I have from this range, and I'm just having a look at them, see what goes with this layout. Now, what you will have noticed is I haven't actually got any photographs at this stage. I was still toying with the idea of what I wanted to print. I tend to print my photographs at home. I've got a selfie printer, and I actually didn't want to print them standard sizes. I wanted to print them to fit. So at this stage I haven't printed anything, and I'm going to have just a mess about, move things around, see if I can get any spaces where photos would look good. I'm looking for more than one. I'd like to maybe 2, 3, 4. We'll see, but I will be printing them further down the line is the plan. Also looking at the chipboard there, and I've also got some sticker sheets, and I've got the foam words as well. So I've got loads of options. I really like that birdhouse. I want to make sure that stays on. In fact, that top row, I quite like the way that looks. So hopefully, she says, changing that tag, some of that will stay. I have only got a few tags left because I've used them on other layouts. And then I'm just having a look at this. This is the journaling card sheet, to see if there's anything there that would work. And there's this lovely strip about the weather, and I think that would go really well with the summery one, and that pink too would go in with the happy day, which I think in the long run will become the title. But with me, you're never sure until the end either. So I have got some gaps, so I'm still looking through the supplies. I really want to make some decisions, and I like the way that word fits by the birdhouse. So I've now printed 3 photographs, all from the same event. All 3 are slightly different sizes. I've got a square, I've got a portrait, and the other one is just not quite square. I'm sorry that the light is shining on the photograph. But they're all from the same outing. So this is my friend Sam and Jackie. We're at an RHS garden just outside Harrogate, and it had a floral rainbow, and the picture of me on the right, and I'm standing by it. So I thought actually that went really well with the floral theme of this and the rainbows as well. So I've scrapped that as an individual photo or a similar one, but I haven't scrapped this combination. So I think those 3 will work. 2 of them are just on the cardstock, and one I've actually added to the pink card at the top. So I've got this gap down the left hand side. I'm going to look and see what I can fill it with. If there's not a journaling card or a tag that fits it, I will cut some pattern paper or something to fill that gap, because it will just be the base for something else. So I'm just going to have a little look through. I want to make sure that the colours, there's some links, so you see that there's the red spotty, and then there's the other one that's red. That will be covered a little bit more. And then I'm looking at some of the checks at the top. There's some diagonal lines underneath on one of the journaling cards, and I've got this check, all very similar colours. I mean, they do these ranges really well, Simple Stories, so I shouldn't be thinking too much, because we know it all matches. So I'm just trimming this journaling card down a little bit, just to give a bit more space to underneath, because even though I'm filling the cardstock, I'm trying not to overwhelm it, and I think that's the key with this. I want to use up the range. I think I really enjoy it, and I think it works with these photographs, but I don't want to cram so much on that it's not restful on the eye, if that makes sense. So we'll see how I go. just found a little butterfly and sorry, a little ladybird, and that's I put that on the top right, and then there's this little snail. I think that's perfect for filling that little gap. I have got a birdie down the bottom right, but I'm not sure he makes the cut, but we'll see as we go along. But so far I think we're getting there. I've got some bees as well that really could work, so I've got lots to choose from. So if you like what you see, I would really recommend you give this video a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to my channel, you'll get to see other videos that I make. I'd really appreciate that. What I will say is that we are, if you look below in the comments, there's a team of us doing this once a month YouTube hop, all set up by my dear friend Joanne, and I would really recommend that you hopped round the rest of the group. As I say, we're all using Simple Stories ranges. We're not all using the same, we're all doing it in our own style. So if you've got Simple Stories in your scrap area and you want to get it used up, I would really recommend getting some inspiration from the team. And there's past videos as well every month, so if there's lots there for you to use as a resource. So I'm still going through making sure what I could use up. There's a nice little word chipboard there. It says birds and bees and flowers and trees, and it goes with the font that I've used further up, so I thought that looked really good. I've got that overhanging that journaling spot so that it's not so so the edges aren't so square, and some of the flowers I've got there, they're also overhanging. So I'm now going to come in and I'm going to punch the holes in the tags and start to get this stuck down. I'm just trimming the edges of some if I've cut them by hand or if they're just a little bit rough. Some of them I'm going to stick down with double-sided tape. I've got some foam pads there on my right, and I'm going to do that off cameras because you obviously know the way that it's going to look layout wise. So I've got some embellishments there. I've got some 3D shenanigans. I'll link the company at the bottom, just a little business that I run. I've got some enamel dots there too. I'm going to add in the centre of some of the flowers. Just finding some colours that I like just to add another layer of interest. And I really quite like the way it's come together. Definitely made a little bit of a dent in the stash that I've got for this range, but I think I've only got one more piece of 12 by 12 paper, so I am getting there, getting some of it used up, but it's going to take a few more layouts, I think, to make more of a dent. Going to bring in some wet glue and stick the plastic shapes down as well. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of journaling on the card at the top left by the sign that says garden. I'll do that off camera, only because you'll get to see the top of my head otherwise if I'm doing that live. So it's all pretty much there. I hope this really gives you some inspiration to look into your Simple Stories ranges and get them out and get them in your album. I decide at the last minute that I think the tag on the right is a little bit plainer than the rest, and I'd put a chipboard sun on it, so I then bring in a couple of Shenanigans clouds. I'm going to put one either side of that, and then I'm going to add the chipboard over the top on a piece of sticky foam pad just to add a little bit more interest there. And I'm still looking, I'm determined to use as much up as I can, as you can tell. I've got a few more bits here in the tray. I think there's some insects and birds, and I'm just going to make sure that some of the little spaces are covered. I think with the little phrase with the birds and the bees and stuff, I think that maybe it wouldn't hurt to add a couple more of those as I go along. If you do make something similar or you're inspired by this, if you put it on Instagram, if you could just tag me, I'm SheenaRibenaScraps. I'd really love to see what you created, and it would be my pleasure to come and have a look. And if I don't already follow you, I will do that as well. So I'm still messing about with the last couple of bits and pieces. I need to clear them away really, but I'm always looking for that last final piece. And there's a few little chipboard bees. They're really, really cute, and I'm determined that I need to get one in somewhere, which is ridiculous really. There's enough on there already, but that's how my brain thinks. But anyway, this is the finished layout, and thank you so much for watching. I hope you can join me again here soon. So bye for now.